Heidi ho, guys and gals, and yep, you guessed it by the thumbnail, it's time to talk, well, lumber. And lumber prices, well, they had yelled timber last year. They'd fallen to record lows, well, pre-pandemic lows, let's put it like that, because they had been in the stratosphere, and a lot of us finally breathed a sigh of relief knowing that our projects that we've been putting off, because I've been putting off projects, I know a lot of you have, that it was around the corner. We're going to be able to hit it hard again. Prices bottomed out beginning of January, lowest levels we've seen in a long time. And then a lot of us are going, all right, I'm going to wait till this spring as soon as the snow melts and we're going to buy that lumber and we're going to go. I'm here to tell you, you might want to buy it now. And if you've been holding off, if you've got a place to store it, this might be the time to do it because it looks like things are about to change. So here's what we saw. This article was on January 9th. That's where we saw kind of the recent bottom in the market. And then we saw this. Wall Street Journal reports that sawmills are cutting back to buoy lumber prices. What? The bottleneck in supply and demand is sitting there going, if we hold back a little bit, the stuff we have right now will be worth more. And I can tell you, because I live in Livingston, Montana, we have a sawmill, one of the biggest in the country right here. And at least when it comes to framing lumber, which is new houses, and that's what drives most of this market. And they have a full yard. They have a full yard. They have full stock. They did have a fire last year, but it's been fixed. They're up to speed now. Everything's covered in snow, and it's -7 degrees. So right now, I don't know how much they're operating, but the fact of the matter is, they have the capacity to operate as much as they want. And it looks like mills are slowing down. Haven't seen a lot of action over there, to be honest. So what we're looking at then is lumber prices are up 14% in 2023. Still trying to remember the year here, 2023, after tanking last year. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time for the market, for the retailers to react to this news. But it's not going to take long, guys and gals, all right? Remember, prices shoot up, they float down, all right? Because they project their prices they set their prices based on projections, because they're never going to put themselves in a position where they're losing money on something as simple as lumber. So you're going to have to end up paying for it if you wait on this. Now, the other thing, as I said, that drive this are U.S. home markets. Now, we see a lot of people projecting that home sales are going to go up. It says U.S. home sales post third straight monthly gain. Well, that means that properties are selling. But I can tell you this, I looked into this, that gain is very small. It is a gain. It's not negative, but it's not like, whew, we're about to ride this roller coaster again as prices skyrocket. But it is going up, and spring is around the corner, and spring is when people want to buy houses. They want to sell houses, because especially when you got families. Families are like, I'm going to put it on the market. I want to sell the house, move out right as soon as the kids finish school, get a house, get the new house, get settled in that house, and be settled by the time they start school again. That's what most families are looking at, and there's other reasons behind it. But spring is the big mover when it comes to sales, so you can expect sales to jump. The question though is it going to be new housing sales, or is it going to be existing sales? In this case, they're talking new. Now again, because of that, Materials Week roundup, lumber prices surge on promising housing market, gold stocks decline. Gold stocks are where people buy when they think that the market's going to go bad. It's how they hedge the market. I don't think it's the best hedge in the market, honestly. And I know a lot of people ask me, what do you think about silver? I think silver's a terrible investment. I can do another whole video on that. I love having silver. It's fun to play with. We used to have a whole bunch. It never really goes up that much. It does. You think it would reflect gold. It doesn't. Anyway, I digress. Point of fact is that everything's pointing to this, that lumber prices are going to go up, new housing sales are going to go up, all this other stuff. I know they're building a lot more, okay? We spent part of our year in Las Vegas. We used to live full-time in Las Vegas, and I talk about Las Vegas a lot because it's a canary in the coal mine kind of town. It's one of the top 15 most volatile markets, and I think, honestly, of that 15, it's the most volatile for the right reason, for trying to figure out where the market's going. A lot of them we're reactionary to the pandemic and stuff like that, but Vegas reacts to economic trends. If the economy is going up, people are going on vacation, people are going to Vegas. Vegas needs to hire people, people buy houses, the market goes down. Vegas doesn't hire, no one needs to go there and buy a house. They don't need as many workers, they're not buying houses, they're more renting, and the market goes down. I've seen it, it is ridiculous how quickly it reacts. Now that said, here's what the lumber prices look like, okay? Now this is the 25-year trend. As you see, it stayed fairly stable for, oh my gosh, for 15 years there. And then we had a spike in 2018, went back down, and then we saw the pandemic, okay? And that just blew everything out of the water, changed the whole market. Almost like that's what they wanted. Anyway, let's look at the last year in housing, or not housing, but in prices. And we've seen from that peak where it was ridiculous, it came down, it came down, it came down. Well, right here, that is January 13th. And as you can see, it went up, hit a shelf, it's gone up, small shelf. We'll see how long this one will last. I don't see it coming anywhere near the peak that we saw before. I don't think we're going to see I don't think we're going to see 1,000. I don't think we'll see 1,000 per 1,000 board foot. I don't think we'll see 1,400. I think what we're going to see though is I think we're going to be 600 to 800. I really do, because that's where they're pushing the market to go. Now this is entirely dependent on where the U.S. economy goes. A lot of people are worried there's going to be a recession. I'm worried there's going to be a recession. My family and I, we're not investing as much in a lot of big expense kind of things because we're concerned about that. But if we look at real estate, we look again at Las Vegas, and I pulled up just a basic house that's been on the market for, I think it's been like a week or something like that. But if we look at the market valuation here, they jumped up in 2014. It was down at this house was at 173,000. It jumped up to the 385s, got as high as 480, fell again in 2016, and then spiked again up until July of last year. In July last year, it was worth 569,000. Bet they wish they sold it then. It is currently, Zillow is estimating the value. They're above what the estimate is. Let me see if I can get it in here. The Zillow is estimating the value in there at, oh come on, just had 475. Well, no, that's where it's at now. Anyway, in that high fours, they're selling it at mid four. So it looks like prices are still trending down. They're saying that, now this isn't new housing, okay? And it's hard to gauge new housing the same way, but new housing usually only gets pushed if it's in an area where there is an existing market, or if it's, or I should say there isn't existing inventory, or if there just is no existing inventory. If the demand is so high, all the used homes are sold, and or say existing homes, they don't like the price, they don't like the term used. Okay, but what I'm looking at here is your hedging. Is lumber going to get cheaper than this? I don't think lumber is going to get cheaper than this anytime soon. Even if the market stays flat, even if there is a recession, I don't see, based on this, let's go back and look 5 years. Even if there is a recession, the lowest price we saw was in the high 2s, 300s, or at 495. I would be stunned to see this. I mean, look at that. That's where we're at right there. In fact, let's go back 10 years. Do we think we're going to see 219? I don't. I don't think there's going to be a significant. I don't think it's going to get significantly cheaper, and it definitely isn't in the next 3 months. It's just not. With spring around the corner, they're going to try and jack prices as high as they can. They may level off. They may fall back down. But if you're looking to do a project this spring, I would buy my lumber now. And if you want to stay on top of other deals, you need to check out our other page, which is the Deal Source. We try and source a lot of deals and stuff for this channel, all tools and lumber, all that kind of stuff. But I find a lot of other deals. I find stuff for home and bed and bath and kitchen and yard and also TVs, electronics, and laptops. I stumble across all these other great deals, and we haven't had a place to really share them because the 10 tools wasn't appropriate. So we started the channel, sorry about that, we started the channel, then the Deal Source, so you can share all those other deals. There's a link down below. Go check it out. Give us a like and a subscribe. Help the channel grow. We'd appreciate it. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. be sure to join us for the live stream tonight. The last one that's going to be in Montana this winter. We're headed back down to the Vegas area this coming week. We're leaving tomorrow. I got to get packed. Anyway, you all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.